Hi everyone, I'm 𝗩𝗶𝗸𝗲, and I have been a coach at Special Olympics Sports Camp for 3 years now, and this is my lovely mother 𝗩𝗨𝗻𝗶𝗲, who was a 𝗠𝗹 coach in the 80s.
Did you have to say when?
Yes.
Yes, I was a coach in the 80s for a number of years because I loved it so much. Like you?
Love it.
Yes, we love it. Dominic asked what I remember about being a coach, and I have so many memories. I remember volleyball and track and a lot of the sports, and I remember evening activities. A lot of fun. But really what stands out in my mind after all this time are the sounds that I remember from Special Olympics Sports Camp. I remember the sound of determination. I know I can do this, I just know it. And I remember the sound of encouragement from every single person at camp. Come on, you're almost at the finish line. Keep going, you can do this. And I remember the sound of exuberance. I tried my best, I did it. It's so exciting to hear those words. And I remember the sounds of joy and laughter. I'm having the greatest week. This is the best week. I can't wait to come back. And we all felt exactly the same way. Everyone felt the same. We all couldn't wait for a year to go by so we could go back and be with everyone again. You are all wonderful teachers, and you have taught how to be persistent with your goals and how to be joyful along the way. Thank you all for being examples to everyone you know. I can still hear these sounds of determination, encouragement, and exuberance in my mind. I appreciate you sharing those very memorable sounds with all of us. Those wonderful and positive sounds changed me, and I have a feeling they changed you. It was really a great blessing to be able to go to the village, to Special Olympics for so many years, and encourage Dominic to go. And you glad you went?
Very glad.
Did it change you?
Very much so.
And I don't think our thoughts are uncommon. I think we've heard them from a lot of our friends that have been to camp. So we both hope you will be able to all gather next August at the Antiochian Village for Special Olympics Sports Camp and fill the air with your enthusiasm.
We miss you and hope to see you next summer.
Hey everyone, it's 3 o'clock and we're ready for our hike down to the lake. Always remember to have good shoes, laced up and tied, and don't forget your water bottle. Remember safety. Always make sure that you're walking, looking ahead when you're walking to make sure that you don't trip or fall, whether it be in the woods, walking on a trail, or on a street. And remember, walking every day is great exercise for your body, your mind, and your heart. Walk every day. And stay tuned tonight for 7 o'clock. We're going to have evening entertainment with Maria on a virtual scavenger hunt.
We're at the Antiochian Village.
Why don't you come on a little hike to the lake with us?
We're looking for the chipmunk.
All right, here we go.
Get started.
Hope you brought your water bottles. I've got my water.
Water and bug spray, just in case.
And watch your step.
It's kind of slippery down here.
I don't know how much where are you taking us? We're hiking to the lake. Wait till you see it. It's so peaceful.
Yeah, and we're also looking for the chipmunk. I wonder if he's down in the lake.
I think those are rabbits, not chipmunks. Sure. Oh no, it's hard to tell.
Yeah, you might be right. Rabbits, not chipmunks.
How long will it take us to get there?
Well, it depends what path you take.
Back up just a little bit, buddy.
Take the long path that goes down the road to the right here. It'll probably take about 25 minutes. But we're going on a path right down through the west, and it'll only take us about less than 10 minutes.
Wow, that's not too long.
seen the chipmunk? I don't think he's seen the chipmunk. Thank you anyway.
So Robin, how long have you been coming to camp?
Oh, hi. It's probably been about 28 years, I think. I'm not positive. Cindy, do you remember?
Well, Robin and I came to camp for the first time in 1989, and we've been friends ever since.
That seems such a long time ago.
Yes, it is, and there were some other people. I have my yearbook from that year, and there are other names in the yearbook who were here last year. Ken Lindsey is one of them, and 𝗩𝗸𝗲𝗏, Dan Gallagher, Justin 𝗩𝗸𝗏𝗲, Sue Ellen Spink. All those names were in that yearbook, and some of them were here even years before that.
I know Loretta's been coming since the beginning as well, right?
Well, this is the 39th annual year for camp, so maybe Loretta's been here all 39 years. We'll have to check with her.
Heather, what was your first year?
My first year at camp was 2007.
Daddy, what was your first year?
My first year, I think, was 1996. That's the oldest t-shirt that I have, so that's the year that I go by.
Okay.
I've been doing it for a long time too. How about you, buddy? I think you've been coming to camp for a while too to visit, huh?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say it's really long, but I wouldn't say it's really short either.
I see. Well, you know, I can tell you that you've been coming to camp to visit since you were 11 days old.
That's right. Enzo was born 11 days before camp started in 2013. I didn't come to camp that year, but Enzo and I came down to visit to help set up right before camp started on that Saturday. And then we came down again on Wednesday during camp. That was the year that we hosted a Halloween at camp party. And that was so much fun. Enzo dressed up as a little pickle, of course.
I think I remember that costume.
Do you remember? You were about a week and a half old.
Grandma and Pap have a picture of that.
Oh yes, we have lots of pictures of it. We'll see if we can find one and get it at the end of this video. Pickle, what's your favorite memory of camp?
Oh boy, there are so many. One of them was actually very similar to the trip that we're making now. We caught a mouse in a garbage can in the camp office, and John Paul Corey and I put it into a can and we drove it down to the lake thinking we were going to release it down at the lake, and we released it on the ground and it jumped back up in the cart and rode right back up to the village with us. So it was kind of a failed attempt at trapping and relocating a mouse. It was pretty funny. And I've obviously, go ahead, Enzo.
I wouldn't think that a mouse would get back in a car.
Oh, he jumped right back up in there and we couldn't get him. I've also met some really amazing people over the years, both athletes and coaches. Some of my best friends in the world I met here at the village. How about you, Robin? What's your...
I remember another special time at camp with you and Heather for our evening entertainment.
Yeah?
Tell us about that.
Oh, so Heather and I got married here at camp. Father Anthony married us in the dining hall, and after the wedding and the awesome dinner, we jumped in a golf cart, and all of the athletes and coaches were lining the path to the pavilion blowing bubbles. It was pretty amazing.
My favorite part of that night was when Billy Wussner, who was walking me in, serving as best man, we opened the doors of the dining hall and everybody was seated, and as soon as those doors opened, everybody stood up and started cheering. It was such a cool night.
I remember it rained very hard that night, and Heather had on her wedding gown.
Sure did.
And was a good sport about it. Actually walked around down to the pavilion in the rain in her wedding gown.
Yeah, that was fun.
But it would droop down a little bit more if it was wet.
A little
You're
bit.
right.
Since it was wet.
Well, we're not too far from the lake now. We came down the path from the woods, and we have to walk along this little road for just about 2 or 3 minutes to
But-
get to the lake.
And we also went across a little bridge if you were watching.
We did.
Now I can remember seeing canoes down here, but I know we never were able to canoe on the little lake here. But I think during the summertime, the camps during the summer would canoe.
Hey, I just saw some movement over here. I think it might have been a small animal.
Chipmunk?
Don't know if it was the chipmunk or not, but wherever it is,
Oh, we better be
gone
looking.
now. But look, there's a little stream here. But the chipmunk comes down and takes a drink from
Where
that stream
did
every
we
so often.
lose Mr. Chipmunk?
Maybe like,
Keep looking. Keep your eyes open.
yep.
Look, here comes some kind of wild animal. What is it? Is it a chipmunk?
Is that the chipmunk?
I don't think that's a
I
chipmunk.
don't think so. Cindy, what's your favorite memory of camp?
Oh, I don't know that I could pick one favorite, but I love all the friends I've made here, all the wonderful people I've met, and I look forward to coming to camp all year long.
Me too.
It's my favorite week of the summer.
Me too.
I'm really excited about virtual sports camp.
Yeah, this is a first for many organizations to do things like this. So hope we pull it off. We can't wait for everybody to see what we accomplish.
So let us know what you think.
Look, we're here at the lake.
Here we are. So peaceful here.
Oh, there's the chipmunk.
Where?
Look, right on this.
Oh my gosh, we walked right past it.
Dude is everywhere.
Mr. Chippy, you have to join us. You have to be part of our trip.
And
Come
don't
on.
forget to vote for the chipmunk this week so he can get a new name.
He or she is so very cute.
See you guys
All
later.
right, we'll see you later.
All right, we made it down to the lake, and luckily, Father Anthony came to pick us up and drive us back up, but I kind of wish he had sent the Mercedes.
Hi, welcome to Your Yoga. Today we're going to talk about what yoga is. My name is Deb. I'm going to be leading the class today. We have
Aidan.
and I'm Lindsay. Welcome. So when you think about yoga, what comes to your mind? Aidan, what comes to your mind when you think about yoga?
Like more like stretching.
So stretching. So sometimes yoga can mean stretching. Lindsay, what comes to your mind?
Breathing.
Breathing comes to mind. So yoga has been around for thousands of years. It's a practice that involves bringing your mind and your body and your spirit together, and we do that through breathing and through movements called asana, postures. So let's get started. We are going to start today lying on our backs. So find a comfortable position to get started with on your backs. Just notice the position that you choose. So Aidan and Lindsay both chose to rest with their legs long on the mat. You can lie down with your legs bent too. So first, just connect with your breath. Just notice what it feels like to breathe in and breathe out. Go ahead and do that 3 times. You may notice your belly rising as you breathe. You may notice your chest moving as you breathe. You may notice the back side of your body in contact with the ground. Let's go ahead and then bring our hands to your rib cage. Can you bring your hands on your, right on your belly actually, on your belly. And can you inhale and see what happens as you breathe in and your hands move up to the sky. Notice movement of your belly. And as you exhale, your hands move down towards the ground. Inhaling into that belly, expanding that belly, making that belly feel big, filled with air, maybe like a balloon. And breathing out, letting it fall back down towards the ground. Next, let's move our hands up to our ribs, so the side of your body. Yeah. So notice as you breathe in to your hands now, maybe your breath is moving out to your side body a little bit more, out into your ribs. Try 2 more, noticing as you inhale, breathing out into your side ribs. Exhaling, letting those ribs funnel back in close together. Good breathing, everybody. And lastly, let's move our hands up to your heart or your chest. Yes. And now, as you inhale, can you breathe that air into your upper chest, into your heart? As you exhale, let that heart move back down towards the earth. 2 more rounds of breath, breathing into your heart, expanding. Last round of breath. We're gonna put it all together with the wave breath, okay? First, we're gonna breathe into our belly, inhaling, breathing into our belly. Keeping that inhale, then into your ribs, that side breath, and lastly, up into your chest. And then exhaling like a wave, going back down, letting that chest drop down, ribs coming in, and belly towards the ground. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, belly. 1 more time on your own pace. Then you can bring your knees up into your chest. Give yourself a big squeeze. And maybe try some just gentle rocking and rolling side to side. Massaging your low back, maybe some circles, and then maybe forward and backward, or I say north and south. And maybe let that grow bigger, tucking that chin into your chest, maybe all the way up into sitting. Yeah, keep rocking, use that momentum. Good job. And then let's go ahead and we'll bring our knees behind us. Our hands are gonna go in front and we're gonna meet in tabletop position, hands and knees. So let's make sure we're all set up really well. We're gonna start with our fingers and our hands spread really wide. Our wrists are under our shoulders. And our elbows have a little bit of a bend in them. We don't want our elbows to be locked out straight. And then our legs, we want our knees to be right under our hips. But even can you widen your feet a little bit? Yes, very nice. Okay, and from here, we're gonna go into some cat-cows. So on your exhale, you're gonna drop your head down, press into the earth, and lift your belly up to your spine. This would be what we call a cat. And on your inhale, we're gonna lift your head up. This is the cow. And look up to the sky, arching that back. Very nice. And then on your exhale, go ahead and drop your head down. Press into the earth, round your back. Nice job. We'll do 2 more. Inhale, look up. Drop that back down. 1 more time. Go ahead and press up, round that back. Really press your back up to the sky. Round that back, tummy up tight. Good. Find a pause with that cat back, and then can you let your big toes touch in the back of your mat? Can you touch your big back toes? And then press with your arms back to go sit back on your feet. This is called child's pose. Rest your head down. You can press into the ground and make it more active, or you can just relax your arms and maybe just give your wrists some circles. Move your hands, move your wrists. Get your wrists warmed up. Child's pose. Everyone's demonstrating it so nicely. This is a great position anytime you need a break in yoga. It's your yoga, and you can change any exercise anytime to fit your needs. Okay, one more breath here, noticing breathing into that back body now, because you're rounding that up to the side. We're gonna press those hands into the earth. We're gonna do a big transition here to downward facing dog. So press those hands in. We're gonna tuck our toes under our feet. Now my toes are tucked under, like this. And then we're gonna press into our hands, keeping our knees bent. Keeping those knees bent, pressing back our body towards our knees, yeah. And then once we get there, then we can straighten our legs if we want to. Or we can find some walking the dog, bending and pointing your feet. Yeah, call this walk the dog. Here's a picture of downward dog. If that feels challenging for your wrists, you can always come down on your elbows. Always an option. Very nice. Wherever you chose, what we're gonna do is press back up if you can, and we're gonna walk our feet to our hands and meet in a forward fold. And just let our head hang. So here, you can walk this too. You can walk your forward, you can bend your knees a little bit, find some gentle movement, working on stretching the back of your legs. And bending your knees is okay here. You feel a stretch in the back. Yeah, you can bend your knees a little bit more if it feels like a big stretch in the back. Next, inhale, we're gonna slowly push down into our feet and roll up really slowly as we inhale. And we're gonna find a pause in mountain. Right, so mountain pose, this is really the basis of yoga, the foundation pose, where we should feel strong on our mat, strong in our body, and strong in standing, right? So let's start with our feet. So let's make sure our feet are under our hips, and we're thinking about where our weight is on our feet, maybe shifting our weight side to side, maybe shifting our weight forward and backward, finding where we are strong in our feet. I like to think of the foot as a triangle. So here's my triangle, big toe mount, my pinky toe, and the center of my heel. And trying to find balance in the triangle. And then moving up to our knees, can we gently unlock our knees? Let our knees be soft. We need them soft for our sports and our activities. Yep. And then up to our hips. We can wiggle our hips around a little bit because yoga can be fun, right? We don't have to be so stiff. Good. Making sure that our hips and our knees and our feet are all lined up. And then moving up to our ribs. Remember our ribs that we were breathing into? Checking with our ribs. Taking a deep breath in. Feeling those ribs go out to the side. Good. And then moving up to our neck. So I know a lot of you are Zooming a lot and texting a lot. So making sure that we're not in a texting, Zooming neck. That our neck is long and straight, right? And we're gently tucking our chin in, right? So none of this. We want to be long and lifting up. And I always like to think about a balloon lifting us up, lightening our load. Lifting us up, letting us grow taller and taller. And that, my friends, is a very strong mountain pose. So now let's coordinate that with our breath. Can we inhale, arms up? Maybe look up at your fingers. Good. Exhale, arms down. Good. One more time. Inhale, arms up. Pause here. Let's let that right arm drop down and let's side bend over. Breathing into this left side body. And just check in and make sure you're still putting weight on that left leg, that it's not lost contact with the ground. Good job, everybody. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, drop that left arm down, side and over. And thinking about, remember that mountain being up tall, right? We don't want to just collapse down. We want to really stay long in our spines. And breathing into both of these side bodies. Next, inhale, back up to center. Hands to heart center. And just pause for a moment. Good work, everybody. Yoga is about taking time to pause and let your body absorb what you've been doing. Okay, so next breath, we are gonna go into something called warrior pose. Okay, so these are the basic yoga poses that we're introducing you to today. So let's start, which leg do you wanna start with, Aidan? You wanna start with your left foot? So go ahead and shift your weight over to your left, bring your right foot back, and we're gonna make it parallel with the back of the mat. And again, thinking about those 3 points of our foot, we want to keep our hips and our body over our hips. And then we can bring our arms out to a T. And then we can look over that left arm. Yep. And then once you're there, let's find that breath, right? Inhale and exhale. Excellent. Let's stay here for one more round of breath. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, thinking about a bend in that front knee. Yes. We want to keep a bend in that front knee. We want to make sure that our knee stays in alignment with our foot. Very good. And then let's inhale, arms back up. And then we're going to take a little balanced step to meet the left meets right, hands to heart center. Just pause and notice maybe if you feel different, left it to right side now, because one leg did a little bit more work than the other. Okay. So up next, we're gonna shift our weight over to the right and step back with the left now so that we're even. So left foot is parallel with the mat. We're gonna bend that front leg. So Aidan, can you turn your foot? Yes. And we're gonna bend that front knee, keeping our body over our hips. So maybe we can always start here. And then once we find that centering, then we can reach, really sending arms opposite, east, west, and then look over that right arm. And let's remember our breath here. Inhale and exhale. We can stay here for 2 to 3 rounds of breath. And good. So now we can swing that arm around on our inhale. Hands maybe to heart center. And left meets right and pause. We should feel even now. So since we just started some kind of harder work, let's go into our balance posture. And I think the most common balance posture that most of us know about is tree. So let's give tree a trial today. So I'm going to give you 2 choices. One choice is a kickstand, where you can just kickstand your leg here. The other choice is bringing your foot to your shin. What I'm gonna urge you to is not try and pull your leg. I want you to actively to be able to do it. And then once you find whichever tree your legs feel strong and balanced in, then you can either move your hands, you can make the tree your own. You could be a waving a willow tree. But find something to help you keep your balance. Maybe staring at something in the distance. One more breath, balancing on your left tree. And then you can come out the way we came in, arms to heart center, right foot meets left foot. Just find a pause for a moment. And then we'll shift our weight over to the right. And that left foot can do the kickstand, or it can come up, wherever you feel like your tree is today. And that could change. One day you might be rocking a kickstand, and one day you might be all the way up at your thigh. We change how we feel all the time. So you need to listen to your body. One more breath. and come out a little more gracefully than I did. Pause for a moment. Let's find that mountain again, that strong mountain. Remember where our feet were grounded to the earth, our legs were strong. We were breathing into those 3 parts of our lungs. And then we can inhale those arms up. Hands to heart center, maybe bend those knees a little bit. We're gonna roll down, back into that forward fold. Coming back from where we came. We're gonna plant those hands, walk our feet back into that downward dog that we started at. And now maybe our legs are a little bit warmed up. Yeah, can you try and bend your knees a little bit, Aidan? There you go. One more breath here, and then we can bring those knees down to the mat slowly. Very nice. And then we're gonna lower ourselves down on the exhale. Inhale, and then exhale, slowly lower, pressing the ground away as we make it down. Good. And then can you keep your hands by your ribs? Inhale, pressing the ground down and then away. This is called baby cobra. Gently just pick up just a little spinal extension. Yeah, and then breathe. Notice where that breath is. It's a lot harder when we're on our bellies to breathe. Okay, good. Next, exhale, lower down. Inhale, and we're gonna just press back into that child's pose again. One last time, press back. We're gonna put our big toes together and sit back on our hands, resting our head. Again, child's pose is a really good pose to rest in if your arms get tired during any of the yoga that we do. It's a great pose just to bring yourself into any time. One more breath here. And then we will come back up onto your hands and knees, sit back down, and we're gonna make our way onto our backs. For my personal favorite yoga pose, it's called Shavasana. This is the final resting pose, which means that you'll be relaxing. So you've earned your relaxing, Aidan and Lindsey. Just connect with the earth that's under you. Start deepening your breath. Go ahead and bend your knees up. Give them a nice squeeze. Maybe find a little side to side rocking on your back. Yeah. And find your way, when you're ready, onto your side. Whichever side you want. Yeah. And when you're ready, through strong arms, press yourself up into sitting. And then we'll inhale our hands to our heart center. Thank you all for moving your minds and your bodies with us today. Namaste. Aidan, what did you think of class today?
I really loved it.
Me too. Me too.
What did you notice, Lindsey?
I noticed that my yoga helped me notice the leaves up above and the sky above us and all the things and sounds in nature, which really helped me feel relaxed.
And so we did this. Thank you for joining us for class today. You can also take any of these poses that we did today and use them off the mat. So for instance, if you're putting your shoes on, you can give yourself a forward fold, whether you're sitting on the floor or sitting on a chair. So just be creative, come up with ways of using any of this yoga, even the breathing, throughout your day, and let us know how it goes.